Natasha.
Debbie.
Show.
The show.
Welcome to it. Just two patriotic girls.
Learning about the world.
So please, don't take us the wrong way.
Hello. Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
Be honest, we're all here for Debbie. I'm just here for Debbie. It's true.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
True story.
I'm here for your t-shirts. I'm going to steal that one.
You see me buy them.
I know, but I like that one. I loved Hot Wheels growing up.
All right, well, I'll take my shirt off my back for you after the video. And
Will you?
Sure.
All right.
If you take yours off for me. Moving on. So, not appropriate. No, seriously, welcome to the show today, guys. We're really excited about today's episode. That was genuine. But before we get into it, what, Debbie? You have something to
If
say?
you like today's content and video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing, but only do so if you want to.
So today, we're going to take a look at Newcastle. Finally, and for the first time.
Yes,
we
we
have
are.
a lot of subscribers and friends we've made on Facebook too and Patreon that live in Newcastle or have. And not only are we excited to look at it, but excited to check out this specific video. And that's because Ben, who made this video, is someone we've now spoken with. And what a cool, nice gentleman. Such a great guy. And he lives in Newcastle. Well, he's from Newcastle.
Yep.
So who's better to have us, look at a video than someone who made it, that lived there,
Actually
grew up
lives there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he lives there now, but I know he grew up there and he's from there, but that's the best way to see it. So we did take a look at one of Ben's other videos, a non-UK video. He makes some great stuff. You guys need to check out his channel. We have a link in the description to this video. Please go watch his original video, give him a like, subscribe to his channel. We love working with other creators that are incredibly nice like Ben is. So please give him some love, some channel love, and go check out his other stuff. And we're going to check the subscriber count. I want to make sure that you guys will give him the love because he deserves it.
I'm sure you all will go and give him a visit.
Exactly. So what's this one titled?
This one is titled, "This is Why You Need to Visit Newcastle upon Tyne."
Need to. It said also England's most underrated city. Is this true?
We are going to find out today. And I know that he's going to hit on all the good points, of course. And yet we also know that no video can cover every single thing. If there's something not in here that you think we should check out again on our own, please let us know.
All right. Without any further ado, finally, let's see why we need to visit Newcastle and check it out for the very first time.
Alright, so hello and welcome to my home, the beautiful city of Newcastle upon Tyne. So we're here on the quayside, which is one of the most iconic spots in Newcastle. But before we get started today, I'm going to give you a quick little introduction.
Oh, good.
So if you've watched my other videos, you'll know I love to catch cheap flights and explore new places. And I've been lucky enough to visit some beautiful spots, such as Tyne, the snow capital of Europe, and other stunning cities like Gdansk in Poland, Madrid, and Riga.
Wow.
And then I thought, why not make a similar video for Newcastle? So in this video, I'm going to be taking you around my city, showing you what there is to see and do, and hopefully we'll both learn a thing or two along the way. But anyway, it's time to get exploring. Let's go and have a wander. Alright, so we're going to begin our little tour of Newcastle right here on the quayside, one of the most iconic and definitely most beautiful spots in all of Newcastle. We've got 7 bridges, we've got 6 that way and 1 that way. And that one right there, the Tyne Bridge, that's home right there for many, many Geordies. And if I turn around, we've got the 7th and the newest bridge. We've got the Millennium Bridge, which I believe
That's cool.
is the world's first tilting bridge. And when it closes, it blinks like an eye. And
Shut
it's also
the front door,
first
Ben.
Tilting bridge. We've got the Millennium Bridge, which I believe...
So that closes.
Nuh-uh.
So it folds down?
Well, there is a spot for it, but that's such a cool design. Newcastle, I'm blown away already.
Yeah, that's pretty fancy. I love that.
Hi, Michael. Sorry, say friend. Hi to our Newcastle friends. This is beautiful. This is awesome. Love it.
It was the world's first tilting bridge. And when it closes, it blinks like an eye. And it's also worth mentioning the Baltic, which is right behind the Millennium Bridge. There's a free viewing platform quite high up, so I definitely recommend going to check that out for some great views over the quayside.
Nice.
So the quayside here is a beautiful little spot to go for a walk through the day or at night when it's all lit up.
Whoa.
And it's fair to say that the River Tyne here played a key role in putting Newcastle on the map especially throughout the Industrial Revolution when you had things like the export of coal, steel and shipbuilding as well, which were like the key industries in Newcastle.
Sorry, I'm going to pause again just really quickly. We have a lot in common with Newcastle, as far as, Cincinnati being, Ohio River right here, right? Which put us on the map, it's the boats coming in and things like that. So we have some similarities, and the Ohio River, it's a bit bigger, of course, but we have a bunch of different bridges like this. None as cool as these.
We don't have 7.
I don't know. We have quite a few. We might.
Well, maybe Olive Grader.
Yeah, maybe so. But either way, it's just really interesting. I'm loving this so much already.
Of coal, steel and shipbuilding as well, which were like the key industries in Newcastle.
Okay.
But anyway, what we're probably going to do now is we're going to head up over that way into the city centre.
So, it's time to leave the iconic and historically rich riverside and its beautiful bridges behind. And on the way, I get a small glimpse of neoclassical architecture which is abundant throughout the city.
It's beautiful.
It's then under the homely Tyne Bridge, and demonstrating Newcastle's once industrial and engineering prowess, it was the world's largest single-span bridge. And it sat tall and proud above its little and older friend, the Swing Bridge, which was the world's largest swing bridge of its time, thanks to local engineer and visionary William Armstrong.
I love those bridges, don't you?
And then coming away from the river, I walk past this old merchant's house, which perhaps gives a brief picture of what the quayside might have looked like in the 17th century.
Wow.
Anyway, it's time to leave the quayside behind, and I start heading up the hill towards town. And here's a rooftop bar just in case you fancy a drink above the city, but make sure you book in advance.
Alright, and leaving the quayside behind and working up towards the city centre of Newcastle, we've probably got the most beautiful street in the whole city, which is Grey Street. And if you've watched my other videos, you'll notice that around Eastern Europe there's loads of colour, whereas it's very different here. And they've all got quite the same look, and I'm guessing the materials they're all made from is sandstone, and this was all built as part of major redevelopments in the late Georgian period in around the 1830s.
Okay, cool.
Consider
Now, I like how some of the buildings, when we're in the more cities with a lot more color, but I also like this where it's all continual the same.
I actually prefer this to all the color, because sometimes it looks like a Crayola crayon box, and I'm like, it's a little,
Yeah, it's a little bit too much.
Yeah, it looks a little childish sometimes.
In this one, they use more of the actual architecture to make a difference between the buildings,
Absolutely.
which I do like.
Really good point, because I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, look at that right there. You stopped this on a drone spot.
That's gorgeous.
That is quite gorgeous. Let me just run that back because you're starting to say something.
Part of major redevelopments in the late Georgian period in around the 1830s.
Considered by some to be the best street in the UK, passing through the curving Georgian street, you'll notice each building boasts a different facade.
Oh wow.
And thankfully, as part of more modern regeneration projects, the buildings have been sandblasted to clean them from years and years of industry.
Awesome.
And unfortunately it is a little bit cloudy at the moment. I feel like it's been grey for about 2 months straight, but the nice thing is in the summer everything really brightens up, the city comes to life, and you see the sort of bars and restaurants you've got around there, people will be out having a drink.
Of course.
So yeah, in the summer everything really does just liven up a bit. But then you can see that tower there, that's pretty much right bang in the city centre, Grey's Monument. We're going to head up over that way and have a little explore around there.
Wow.
Then coming to the top of Grey Street is perhaps Newcastle's most beautiful building, the Theatre Royal, which possesses a grandeur like no other, with its stunning portico and proud Greek pillars. And on another day when the sun's shining, you'll see it really brightens up and it looks even more majestic. And before we arrive right in the centre of the city, I take a detour to an absolute gem hidden in plain sight. Almost 120 years old is the Central Arcade, and it's one of those spots us locals probably don't appreciate and forget it's even there. From the exquisite tiling, mosaic flooring, cute lamps and arched glass roof, while walking through, I couldn't help but get lost in the past. It's only small, but there was something so enchanting about it, so I definitely recommend you take a wander through.
Alright, so here we are, we have made it right into the city centre of Newcastle upon Tyne. You can see that big statue there, that is what we call the monument locally, and it is the statue of Charles Earl Grey. And it's funny really, because walking around, I've lived here my whole life, but actually when I look around and take it all in, it really is a beautiful, beautiful place.
Very centre and the main meeting place of Newcastle. It was quite quiet on this early Friday morning, but I can promise you it'll certainly liven up by the night time, with Newcastle being famous for its nightlife.
Oh really?
Alright, there's still going to be plenty of things left to see in this video, but now we're going to be headed to one of the most important places in the whole city for us Geordies.
Football.
And on the way to this special place,
I know it is.
I pass what we call Hippie Green. But ironically, it's now probably more full of druggies and local misfits. And as I continue walking along, I spot some strange murals which I've never noticed in my entire life.
So just when I was thinking of making this video and preparing and starting to do research, it's funny really, because I actually started to look around. You know, I'm in the city centre nearly every day, and there's a lot of Geordies who probably just don't pay attention to any of the stuff like this. So we've got the old town walls here, which were built in the late 13th century, I believe. So they've stood there for about 650 years, and you just don't really appreciate what's actually there.
Right.
And then you've got a nice little Chinese arch just there, which is the entrance into Chinatown, which is kind of just behind here.
Okay.
Cool.
But more importantly, like I said, one of the most important things in the city, right here, we've got the beautiful, beautiful St James's Park, the home of Newcastle United.
Knew it.
And we've got the Gallagher End right here, which is one of the best stands to be in as a Newcastle United fan. And I'm pretty sure it was named because there was a gallows roughly around about here where people got hanged.
Oh.
But I thought I'd give you a little bit of an idea of what it's like as a Geordie, as a proud Newcastle fan, because football is so important for the people here, big part of our culture. But I thought I'd give you a little idea of what it's like in St James's Park.
And we knew that due to one of our dear friends, that's Michael. He's on our Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
And Michael's a huge Newcastle fan. And they were supposed to be here last year to play here in Cincinnati.
Right.
It was an Ohio tour they were doing, but it got canceled last minute for like no reason. We were going to go to the game. So we're really sad that that didn't happen. But we also checked them out in the video that we did on the Premier League stadiums. And so we got to see this a little bit in that video.
Right.
And also, don't forget, too, the Geordie slang that me and Debbie's sister did when Debbie was unable to do a video. We did that video as well. So we have some connections to Newcastle. This is just our first time looking at it. So we're getting there. I can't wait to see more.
Park.
Wait, what's wrong? I'm saying it. Hey, Jude. Duh.
Although there's very little chance you'll actually be able to get a ticket, it might be worth doing a stadium tour, a rooftop tour, or even just experience the sea of black and white on a match day. Anyway, moving on from football, there's also numerous free museums and galleries you may want to take a look in. So first of all, we'll check out the Discovery Museum, which I hadn't been in since I was about 10. Inside, you can learn a thing or two about the region's past and influence on a global scale, with inventions such as the incandescent light bulb, the Davy lamp designed to prevent explosions in mines, and other pioneers such as George Stephenson and his son Robert, who were instrumental in inventing the locomotive train and the development of public railways across England. And I found out that Newcastle also boasts some other impressive engineering feats, like the Turbinia, the first steam turbine boat which demonstrated never-before-seen speeds at a Navy review, and later revolutionised the Royal Navy fleet.
Wow.
Oh, and this magnificent ship, the Mauretania, among many others, were also built on the Tyne. I really found it fascinating and can't help but feel proud about how Newcastle has left its mark on the world. And from here...
Just 1 second. Then I will shut up, I promise. No, I have such respect for cities that have done so much like this, that really are like the backbone in some ways of countries, you know, that build and create. I just have more respect for those places in some ways than I do just your average place that's pretty.
Moving on to the next museum, I pass the Newcastle University campus, which has this lovely red brick building, and then make it to the Hancock Museum. Again, this one is completely free, and you can indulge yourself in the magnificent history of things like the famous Hadrian's Wall. And they also have a pretty cool selection of animal exhibits which you can look at and enjoy. And I round off what's been a pretty long day exploring with another aimless wander. I find myself passing by a lovely World War I monument, and then onto Newcastle's High Street, Northumberland Street, where you also have the modern shopping centre Eldon Square. But hey, you can find shops everywhere, and there's much more to this city than just shopping. And to round off the day nicely, I end up at the bottom of Northumberland Street and I check out the Laing Art Gallery. And it's took me 23 years to discover it.
Really?
Again, it was free and there was some fantastic artwork, but after a long day, it's time to head back and explore another day.
Alright, so good morning. I'm up nice and early this morning, and I did not expect this. Wow, what a lovely, lovely surprise. But anyway, we've got plenty more things to see and do today. Let's go. Alright, so good morning. We're starting again in the city centre. We've got Monument just by me right here, but I haven't seen snow in the city centre for absolutely years. But anyway, the plan is we're going to head down over that way through Grangertown, and we've still got loads of things left to see today. And later on, I've got a lovely little surprise for you. Even you Geordies, so So stay along and stay tuned for that.
Doc Martens.
Yay.
My favorite shoes.
There is still loads yet to explore today, but we begin by heading away from Gray's Monument and then wandering down Granger Street, and you can also find Granger Market here, which impressively was once the largest market in the country.
Wow.
I'd recommend you add it to your list of things to do.
Done.
And it's also a great spot to try some street food, browse through some of the local independent stores, and there is even the first and smallest Marks and Spencer's. And it still has its original sign from 1895.
This is the first?
Awesome.
Alright, so just leaving Granger Street behind, I kind of touched upon it a little bit, but Newcastle is also famous. We've got a massive reputation for being a party city, so we've got a great nightlife. And right here in the big market, there's loads of clubs and bars, but the whole city is absolutely
That's pretty
full.
right there.
So that's also a big appeal for a lot of people. But right here, this used to be a lively market, and I think it's named Big with a double G because there was a lot of barley sold, and the barley was called Big. And a nice little touch, let's see if I can find it. On the benches here, there's something ingrained, excuse the pun, looks like a little bit of grain, which I thought was a nice touch to sort of commemorate that market. Yeah, we're going to keep heading.
Ben is giving a lot of really cool information that I know if we had watched another video, we wouldn't have gotten. Again,
Definitely.
guys, please go to his channel, subscribe, give him a like, send him a comment, check out his other videos. I'm sure we will. Again, he's a nice guy. We've spoken with him, a super nice guy, and we want to blow his subscriber count to the roof.
And
So-
I love that he's lived there. And
Yes.
by doing this video, he's done research and found out even more about his city. I love that.
Absolutely. It's a daunting task to do a video about your own city, something we've been contemplating doing on Patreon. And it's just like, it overwhelms me, the thought of it. I'm like, there's so much. And what do you cover? What do you not?
Yeah.
You could
What's
spend-
important? What isn't?
Yeah. You could spend a year.
Over that way.
And actually,
Oh,
just
that's
before
cool.
we move on, I
Nice.
thought I'd show you a couple of pubs nearby. Perhaps you might want to visit Newcastle's oldest, the Old George, or the recently
1582.
renovated miniature bar converted from Victorian toilets.
What?
Anyway, I carry on walking down the bottom,
Pourquoi?
converted from visit Newcastle's oldest, the Old George, or the recently renovated miniature bar converted from Victorian toilets.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's
I carry on
makes sense.
walking down the bottom end of Granger Street, and unlike normal commuters in their home city, I decide to observe what's above me and find there are some beautiful designs on the roofs before I reach one of Newcastle's finest buildings, Central Station.
So just walking through here behind me, we've got the beautiful Central Station, which we'll go to in a minute, but we've also got this strange sideways man. I've got no idea why he's
Whoa.
there, but I bet a fair few drunk people have tried to start a fight with him.
There's some interesting photos of
Here
that.
we are anyway. We've got Central Station, which is like the main train station in Newcastle. It's a big, beautiful building, and you can see that it's kind of got like Roman like pillars and the arches as well. It's lovely. But for now, we're going to pass through over that way. There's still a few things left to see.
Then just along from the Grand Central Station, you can find a monument paying tribute to the famous George Stephenson, who hopefully you remember from earlier. I carry on walking by and also couldn't help but tell you about another special spot which most tourists will miss.
Ooh.
So just past the Stephenson Monument and on the right you can find the Lit and Phil, or properly known as the Literary and Philosophical Society.
What?
It was formed 230 years ago, and thanks to them, here now stands the largest independent library outside of London.
Wow.
Anyone can just wander in and take a
That's
look
gorgeous.
inside. And this is even where George Stephenson and Joseph Swan demonstrated their inventions, the Davy lamp and the incandescent light bulb which I told you about earlier.
That's awesome.
Moving on,
I'm
I
in love
head
with that
along
place.
Collingwood Street,
Sorry.
which has some of the higher end bars and clubs. And at the other end, there is
wow.
another must-see spot.
Alright, and now I think I've got to tell you a confession. So right behind me here, we've got St. Nicholas's, or Newcastle Cathedral. And I've lived here my whole life and I have never been in once. And apparently it's lovely, so let's go in and take a look.
Yes.
I hope through our videos that helps to inspire you to get out and explore your own city and
Absolutely.
appreciate the things that are around you that you might normally miss.
Absolutely. We've had so many people comment and say, hey, I'd never seen Tenby before, and I've been on a vacation now there, or wherever it may be. And it's like really amazing for us to feel that. And believe me, we've looked at our own city differently.
Yeah, you start to look at it with different
Yeah,
eyes.
go through your own cities and towns as tourists.
Yeah.
Seriously, we've done it many times, and I can tell you, it's a very fun time, and you will always learn something.
Yep. You always find something new.
Just outside is this imposing monument dedicated to Queen Victoria,
I thought that's
and
what it was.
upon entering the church, I was surprised by its archaic yet timeless aura. There was a medieval-like wooden roof, with gorgeous stone pillars creating a series of arches, but really bringing the cathedral to life were perhaps the most beautiful stained glass windows I have ever seen. And other parts of the church were decorated with more intricate detail and decoration.
Look at that.
And I can't believe that I've walked past this cathedral hundreds of times and never...
That is absolutely stunning. I've never seen anything quite like that one.
Yeah, look at all that woodwork.
Wow.
All the details.
I'm so
like
thankful that he went into this and for the first time with all of us together. Wow. That is beautiful.
And decoration. And I can't believe that I've walked past this cathedral hundreds of times and never thought to look inside.
Yeah.
So make sure that if you're passing by, head in and take a look inside.
Wow.
Just leaving the cathedral behind, and I've got another lovely little fact for you. So just behind me here, we have got Mosley Street, and I bet all these people who walk past here don't know that this was the first public street in the world to be lit by the locally invented incandescent light bulb.
Really?
So I just find it absolutely fascinating that all this history is right here in Newcastle.
That is cool.
And I never knew until like a week ago. But anyway, we're going to head towards the castle now. And if you're like me as well, you might be wondering why Newcastle. It's called Newcastle. So when this was built in about 1180, I believe, they clearly weren't very creative and they just called it Newcastle. So I'm guessing the town just sort of adopted the name after that. But anyway, we're going to head inside and take a look.
That's funny.
And I believe you can also get up at the top and hopefully there's some nice views. But anyway, let's go and take a look.
I'm gonna love a castle.
Let's go, Ben.
Take me in the
And
castle,
believe
Ben.
it or not, it's been about 16 years since I last came up these steps with my grandparents.
Wow.
It's crazy how when you live somewhere your whole life, it's so easy for it all to just blur into the background.
Right.
Anyway, it was £10 to enter, which I couldn't believe. But let's carry on up the steps and take a look inside. Upon entering, you can obviously learn a bit of history about the castle, but really, I just want to see the views overlooking the city. But first, I got lost in the surprising amount of rooms within the castle, and it even had a really cool great hall. But to be honest, my attention span was running thin by now, so it's time to head up to the main reason I came. That means climbing up the stairs of this beautifully polished stone staircase, which finally brings me up to the best views in the whole of Newcastle.
Excited to see him.
Alright, so we've just got to the top now. It cost me £10, which is expensive, but check these views out. Was it worth it?
Yeah,
This is the best view you'll get of the city in Newcastle, so just for this alone, I'd recommend coming to the castle, coming to the top. And then right behind me here, you can see we've got some great views looking down at the St. Nicholas Cathedral, which we've just been in, and of course the beloved St. James's Park. And also where the castle is now, the Romans had like a fort almost 2,000 years ago. And then I believe as well the Romans also built the first bridge on the Tyne, so just where the swing bridge is, made the first bridge called Pons Aelius, which stretched over that part of the Tyne there.
Then what better way...
What is the giant disco ball looking building behind the bridge there?
Oh, yeah.
I've been wondering that the whole video.
I'm too busy looking at the bridge. I really like that swing bridge.
I know.
I'm just like fascinated by it. And then,
But I want to know what the giant disco ball looking building is.
that's a very good question.
I know it's not disco ball, but I just was hoping he'd say it. If he did, I missed it. But let us know if you don't mind.
to finish off another long morning exploring than just enjoying the views. And if you've got a good memory, you'll remember I told you there would be a lovely surprise at the end of this video.
Yes, I do.
You did.
So under this city, some of the very streets we've wandered through is an old, dark tunnel.
What?
Only a 20-minute walk from the city centre, you can pay to do a tour of the underground Victoria Tunnel. So
We have a lot in common with this place.
Underground.
We have the largest abandoned subway in the world here in Cincinnati. And you can do tours, and I haven't done them yet because I'm freaked out. I'm claustrophobic. It's not that
Hopefully
tight,
we can
though,
go soon.
but dark. But this is awesome. They have a tunnel.
I know.
Okay.
I would definitely go on that.
I actually don't know if I would yet. We'll see. I'm going to keep watching.
minute walk from the city centre, you can pay to do a tour of the underground Victoria Tunnel.
Yep.
So that's what we'll be doing this evening. Heading down to Ousburn, where the tour begins, I reached the Victoria Tunnel tours. It only costs £12 for a 2-hour tour, and I can't wait to explore inside.
Why wait till nighttime?
So here we go.
It's already dark anyway.
Helmets on.
This is spooky.
Time to explore. I'm excited to see what's inside.
Around 80 years after actual air raid sirens would have rung, we head inside where thousands of locals would have fled during the Second World War.
Oh, that's what?
But interestingly enough, the history of this tunnel goes way further back than that.
There we go.
Passing through each segment, we weaved in and out of these blast walls, which prevented any explosions from travelling through and killing all of those seeking refuge within it.
Wow.
But long before it was used as an air raid shelter, this tunnel was made for the transport of coal from one of Newcastle's collieries and down to the Tyne to be shipped across the world.
Okay.
And as you can see, without torchlight or back then candlelight, the tunnel is completely blacked out and eerily quiet. Originally opened in 1835 and spanning 2.5 miles, the tunnel was built using a total of over 2 million bricks.
Jeez.
Walking through a literal tunnel of history, it really was a fascinating experience.
To look at.
And to think, like most Geordies, I had absolutely no idea this was right underneath the very streets we walk every day.
Wow. That's amazing.
All right, so I'm just back in the city centre. The snow's falling again, but I tell you what, I thoroughly enjoyed that tour. So shout out to Erica and Mal. Really good. I'd 100% recommend it. I'll leave a link down in the description below. But anyway, I really hoped you enjoyed exploring my city with me, so get yourself along here. Come and visit the Tyne. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Adios.
And if you enjoyed exploring my city with me, I think you'll love joining me on my other adventures. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and visit some other incredible places with me, like Gdansk, Madrid, Wrocław, Riga, Tallinn or Prague. And I also cannot wait to bring you on my next adventure. So here's a little sneak peek. See you later.
Oh, no, you can't see the sneak peek. You have to go to his channel.
That was so cool. And I definitely want to go there. I think that should be on our list for sure.
Loved that video. Thank you so much to Ben for the video. It was wonderful, beautifully shot. Love the education we received.
Loved all the information, yes.
It was wonderful. Again, please, guys, go to Ben's channel. Link is in the description to this video. And you can go to his channel, and I would please subscribe to his channel. Now, I'd be curious to know, if you live in Newcastle, for example, did you learn something from that? I'd be really curious to know. I would really want to know that one. Or in general, whether you're from Newcastle or not, let us know if you learned something. I mean, I learned a lot from that video.
I definitely did.
And
I love that tunnel thing at the end.
I know.
And it still amazes me how many cities are built on top of tunnels.
Yeah, true. Or how many tunnels are built under cities?
My mind. Huh, did I say that backwards?
No, I said it the other way around. Sorry.
It just amazes me. Like, I don't think most of us know what is actually underground of our cities.
I don't know if we want to.
The buildings, the streets that we...
The bodies.
That we visit all the time.
It is fascinating.
It boggles my mind.
I wouldn't go. That was a little bit too narrow for me. My claustrophobia says no. Let us know in the comments, are you Natasha or are you a crazy?
I'd go and I want to do it by candlelight.
Oh, you would not.
Originally done.
You would not. Would you really?
Yes. Like they originally did.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments. We hope that you did. I really think Newcastle has so much to offer and history and in beauty. You know, it really does. And definitely want to go catch a football game.
Yes. I think that'd be one of the places to go to watch the game.
He said it's hard to get a ticket. I think we know somebody who might be able to hook us up with that. But I really did enjoy that. I hope you guys did too. And we will be back next time with some new stuff for you. Until then, please, guys, love like jazz.
Be as strong as Tyson.
Bye, guys.
Bye.